Yo, good afternoon. Welcome to Casual Boots, Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament. Already, we are on our way. We have one incredible German matchup here for us today. Kermit versus Teto, two very household. How do you say house in German?
House.
Ravis. House? Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Two household names in Germany. Kermit versus Teto. Gonna be a great time. Actually, quite the German crew here today. The one and only, of course, Nervin Deutsch on tracking. And, of course, joined with me is Ravis. How's it going?
Yo, what's up? Yeah, we already started the game pretty fast and get some bombs here. Yeah, classic German runners, like I think in the community since 2017, 18-ish, something like that. So very experienced runners. Yes. Both one of the few remaining people who are attending still the German tournaments since the first one.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's quite the history. And in fact, actually, I think these guys are actually pretty well affiliated with you too, right? I do see a team Hime Kermit alongside. You've probably known him for quite some time, right? Of course, Teto has been, he's been like everywhere, right? Certainly been in league a couple of times too. Did you guys ever face each other out of curiosity?
Me and Teto?
Yeah,
We have played a lot of games, 2 draws, a lot of
2 draws.
Games. Yeah, we play once in league.
Amazing.
One at the German tournament as well, but yeah.
Oh wow, that is a lot.
So yeah, I mean about the runners, Teto, very solid runner, very active and very helpful, very good person and knowledgeable in the game overall. Not that Kermit is not a good person as well, but Kermit is definitely one of the more riskier plays on how he feels. Not specifically sometimes on what makes sense in the first few,
I was actually just gonna ask you about this. So, so certainly, maybe there's a bit more of a reputation. Maybe not specific for Kermit or Teto, but there is. Germans are what are they known for? Their efficiency, their ingenuity. When it maybe especially when it comes to routing, I am very interested in seeing what type of creative decisions these guys will make.
Yeah, I expect no basements and left-side swamps today. So, but we'll see. I mean, it always depends on what the seed gives us, right? So, for now, we're having our boots, we're having our sword. We already got some bombs, which is nice, and also a bottle. That's nice for CAC.
Yeah, and we have 300 rupees. So for resources, we're all set. And for what it's worth, we actually do also. We've already found the map. That was the very first chest of coincidentally the map chest. So and then we also found the small key. So everything else after this should be an item. Whether it's actually valuable or not, it is still something that you would like to pick up. And you don't have to necessarily spend like the extra mental cycle saying like, did I pick up the map already? Just open up everything.
Yeah, I think the only thing that the runners right now want to see, if they like, I mean, they get almost everything, right? But if we could get a flute, then it's literally the perfect like equipment to go to Kakariko and get all those stuff there, see what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. So would you consider the bottle enough to go directly Kakariko, or would you still try and hold out for that flute? Maybe I can certainly see if you were gonna be a little bit more non-traditional. We can go to South Shore looking for that flute. If we get a glove, we can immediately go up the mountain. Logical or not, but it is going to be an option for us. We can go to Eastern.
So
just saying.
I think we're gonna see CAC. One thing is the bottle, but also if we get 300 rupees additionally, then we have Zora money, right? You don't want to go South Shore.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Without the required money of Zora, because like you can't do those checks pretty easily unless you don't have the money. So I expect them to go to Kakariko, but there's also a first,
that's another it's another actually point of, well, it could be considered a one-off for what it's worth, but it is going to be another avenue that they can explore. Some people depending on maybe what your philosophy is, some people like to turn on the mushroom immediately, just to basically see, if, especially early on, could be quite suspicious. Some people may try and safe scum it. Some people may just try and like put off the mushroom until they, find the cane or something like that. So then they can, try and fake powder first. I cannot condone any of. Oh my gosh, we got to be and a hammer. Okay.
What is going on in this one?
Oh well, then suddenly we have some really nice options.
Yeah, and
We're
with the
gonna get a
mirror
glove?
early, you know when you get Dark World access, you have a lot of options. Because if you have the glove, as you said, we can go in the mountain, we can do the entire East F mountain, we can just go hype cave and stuff, we can start at the village. There's good chances that we will get a big divergence, and also Teto on 1/2 of a heart. Getting the Master Sword here as well. Holy smokes!
Yeah, this is quite the loadout for escape. It started out really slowly, and then I mean, just look at basically, we're it's almost we just exited a castle, right? And we just basically ransacked its entire armory, right? We've got the hammer, we've got a master sword, we've got some bombs. We also went to the vault apparently and to go get in the treasury to get more money. Look, we have more money here. Talk about it looks like we're in good shape potentially to go meet our 500 rupee requirement. Wow, this is quite the loadout. Ooh, talking about we have some divergence. Ravis, do you approve of Kermit's decision to skip out on Lumberjack? No, is that what you said?
I just get Master Sword, I have boots, I'm a lamp away from Lumberjack, no thanks. But, I mean, he might get another chance if he gets the glove, because, we have the hammer already, that kind of gives us a chance. Alright, nothing on Lumberjack. But it gives us a chance to recheck it again. Maybe he's getting, if he's getting, a glove and lamp, maybe he's getting cold feet, and then deciding, I'm going to go to the mount, but let me just check this real quick.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, there are, as you said, there's going to be multiple opportunities, especially if we don't end up finding that flute early and then, climbing up the mountain with the glove and potentially, with that lamp is going to be our logical way up there. And so and then, or we go check Bumper Cave, right? In the Dark World, we've got the mirror, several, opportunities to be able to kind of go up there. And we can also go to North Dark World. Was to find a shovel, so that means infinite resources for everybody. Just rub a little bit. Actually, Ravis, what is a German good luck charm? We can say that you rub your rabbit's feet or something, for good luck. What is the equivalent in Germany? We also hook shot, by the way, and ether. Oh my gosh!
I would think about that. Oh my god, and the lamp! I can't even think about that because we get too much stuff.
You're right. Whatever you did to rub to get German good luck, I think Kermit, already covered all that for you.
Yeah. So what's also interesting, we got a map check already, right? We got 2 red crystals in the light world. In Hera, we can already do logically 1 right now. With the hookshot, even the Hera pod is easily doable. If we can find a bow somewhere, then there's another alternative that you could do, and I can see Kermit simply doing that. But we're gonna see it. I expect some divergence. Maybe someone going to the mountain, maybe someone going South Shore, something along those lines.
Yeah, well, so we do need a glove to get up to the mountain somewhere, right? Or for that matter.
Oh man, yeah. I just hope that you would have jinxed it here right now, because that's why I was not mentioning the glove. I was about to hope it's gonna.
Well, we have Bottle Vendor to give us a not a glove. We have Chicken Hut. We have Tavern. We've got the shovel. I mean, we've got lots of options here for us.
Nice hook speed here from Kermit.
Yeah, really actually great to see. Hookshot, one of the really nice items. Especially getting through Kakariko, you don't have to stop and turn all the time. You just use hookshot once, and they get hook speed, and you can just move.
So yeah, I mean, there's as soon as we get a glove and the moon pearl, pretty much everything that's not mid-locked is open to us.
Yeah, Kakariko also just pretty much just also spotting all of the money, in the cache, as you said. We're really close to that 500. While we don't have a glove necessarily to maybe pad up some extra rupees just in case, we do actually, especially if we go to South Shore, this is probably a reasonable amount of money to go in with, just hoping you find, scrounge up together, on Kermit's side at least, and soon to be on Teto's side, basically 10 rupees worth, right?
Yeah. I mean, Teto already has the 500, so,
true. Yeah.
Yeah, but we might see maybe someone going to Agina. I don't know.
Ooh, actually,
chance for that.
Yeah, do you? I mean, how strong are your Aga senses tingling? Out of curiosity, is that would be one of the reasons why you would want to go to Agina to see in this case if it's going to be an Aga scene?
No. Well, it is. I don't know. Yes and no. So, I think with that much open, you simply just maybe not gonna do it first, because we have a lot of stuff in the Dark World as well, right? We can logically, with the hammer and the hookshot, can go over to the west side of the Dark World. So
as soon as we get
Kermit,
poor Kermit, he's getting. You know what? He completely decided to not pick up the shield that was sitting on library. If he just had the shield, he could have used it 3 times with it. I'm just saying. You know, if you ever watch this back, Kermit, you know, take a tip. Shields can deflect arrows.
Well, at least we know when the new version comes out, right? When there's no lag for shields anymore, then you can.
Is that what was stopping Kermit the entire time? Was because of the lag that was introduced with the shield? Okay, we can.
That would at least be an argument, right?
Okay. Yeah, you are the one as part of all of these team meetings, you know, Ravis. So I cannot, you know, speak to what you guys have decided to to talk about internally.
I don't even know
how many shields.
Yeah. Oh, but that's 300 rupees, so that's
oh my gosh! Oh yeah, that's a lot of money.
The Zora part.
Yeah, we're also set for like pods. Well, we don't know if pod is a crystal or not, but yeah, any more amount of money we need to spend. Dig game, chess game, pod, whatever. Look, we have a glove, Ravis. Turn in the mushroom early. That is, you know, that's a great ticket, by the way. Yep. Good advice.
And that opens up Death Mountain now, as said, and I can see Teto maybe not going. Well, okay, he does. There was a chance that he maybe goes Death Mountain, but I think Teto is even not the biggest fan of a mountain trip without them. It's understandable.
Yeah, I think that's very reasonable. Yeah, especially when you are, in this case, like a moon pearl away, you know, from Dark World access. If you can find the myths before you go up to Dark World, and, you know, chances are if your pearl is just up there, you can automatically just save yourself another mountain trip. I think it's really good.
And more importantly, it's like whatever he's gonna find on the mountain, it's not gonna make this way here quicker, right? Like this is gonna be the same thing unless he finds a flute and activate it, pretty much. So there's pretty much no reason to go mountain first, since you're gonna do this stuff anyway here. And
yeah, exactly.
Nothing really will make it faster. They even had the ether, you know, for mini moldom, so you
That's
couldn't even argue with that. There's like pretty much no reason to do this, not now.
Yeah, and the fact that Teto and Kermit picked up 2 magic pots and escape means that they do actually have the option of using ether. I mean, Kermit, judging by his magic bar, did not decide to use it, just decided to use sword beams, most likely. Yeah, but it looks like Teto's also going to use some combination of hook shot, bombs, also sword beams.
I agree with that in the sense of you could still find the powder, and then, you know, you don't have any magic, and that would kind of be annoying. It's like it's such a small chance, but, you know, you can do it fast in a different way as well.
Well, I mean, we got hammer and mirror right in the back of escape. So I mean, talk about, you know, some things being, you know, uncommon or unlikely. I mean, these things do happen, and then, you know, for like the one time, right, that you end up getting both like powder and hammer, you are definitely, you know, you'll definitely be able to make that check. You know, whereas, you know, before it's just like, you know, it's pretty much risk free. Are we not going to Zora? Ravis, team explanation, please.
No, I know there is no explanation. That is just style.
Okay,
I think he wants to wait for the flippers. I don't know if he would decide that if he has the glove, but I know Kermit is not the biggest fan of Zora, regardless of if he has the money or not.
Okay, very understandable. You know, it's all good. You know, we're here for the popcorn. All right, we're here for the cape. Apparently, that's flippers locked. That's very interesting.
I mean, maybe his plan is just to simply make a little bit of weird routing to make a guaranteed divergence, you know, to maybe find that one item in a sneaky location or avoid a different location and save some time because of that, something like that. Like, pretty much a little bit of, you know, forcing a divergence. And as we see, he's not turning in the mushroom yet.
Yeah, but we've got more divergence, as you said. The Kermit is heading over to. I mean, this might just be a Saha only check. Very, you know, very reasonable. We got 3 quick checks over here. Could potentially go into, you know, Crystal Eastern. I don't know what his tendencies would like to be. He got a Temper Sword out of this. All looks really great. We are headed over to Eastern, Ravis. Amazing.
But look, Teto pulling the bow from Zora now. Watch. This is gonna be a
I'm
bow,
watching.
Right?
I'm watching. Oh my god!
I swear I didn't know that!
Oh my gosh, Ravis! Are you like, okay, is there a German Nostradamus out there? Like, what is the Miss Cleo version, you know, equivalent in Germany? I'm asking right now for a friend.
No, the thing is, when I talk to Kermit, I'm always saying, dude, if I make these decisions and leave Zora, I'm gonna have that bow there for sure. And that's why I just simply said that to myself, because like it would have been for me, but now it's for him, and now it's going to be very interesting. So Teto technically has already, as soon as he finds the Moon Pearl, has access to Pyramid Ferry as well, and can, if he can still find the Moon Pearl, they can even combine Pod and Eastern together, for example.
Yeah, I'm actually wondering maybe if that's why he wants to try and maybe put off Eastern. And as you mentioned, we got the mirror very early, and if we're only literally just a Moon Pearl away from Dark World access, and we got that mirror, very efficient to be able to combine things. We have more money. Money technically doesn't, hold anything in logic, for the seed, but the more money, Kermit, look at your wallet. No reason to hoard all of it. We do need, for you to stimulate the economy a bit, all right? And you know where the best source of that is? Not here in Eastern. There is no money sink. Not even the gamble game in the back. All right.
Oh, and there's the Moon Pearl on
on Lodge. Yeah. All right, we got another bottle.
There's a second glove in Eastern, but the problem is Teto's gonna get that real quick.
Dude, this routing from Kermit. So that's his mountain access too, right?
Yeah, this is gonna be like. So,
when is he gonna go to Zora? It's gonna be kind of.
We have already there's three options that I can see that Kermit is gonna go back to Zora. Either it's gonna be the flippers, or he might do catfish at some point, mirror over and check what Zora is. Or he finds the second bow, because there's no real reason why he else would go back. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that is This is this is one of the features, I guess, of items being progressive, right? I mean, as in there are multiple copies of of the same type of thing, right?
And we witnessed when Teto went through the Dark World on the mountain that Skull Woods and Swamp Palace are other pendants, and Swamp Palace being the green one. And we got the ice rod on the old man, a free ice rod. That is something that I personally never expect in my seats if it's not like Pendant Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We did find boots, by the way, in the big chest. Well, quote unquote boots is the replacement for us starting with the boots. Nervendorch, by the way, really nice job, I would say, tracking. He is actually tracking like what runners know, right? So Teto did his map check. Kermit has not, and he is marked, in this case, Teto knows the full gamut, of the Dark World prizes and crystals and pendants, but Kermit does not.
Yeah. I mean, Kermit is about to see it. He's going to get his Moon Pearl here, yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be. Is he
gonna go back and get that bow though? I mean, I guess for what it's worth, because Eastern and Potter pendants or crystals, maybe he'll get funneled into that bow, sooner rather than later. But I can certainly see him going over there.
Have a double dip Eastern is like a big advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
Not only double dip Eastern, he will never walk to Eastern because technically he will go through the Dark World, and then you mirror in front of Pod. And then it's like you never went that entire way towards Eastern, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And Teto is going to be able to clear out, as you mentioned earlier, Pod and Eastern together. If Kermit, decides to go over to Pod, looking for the bow, right, doesn't find it, could also be another trip in. And going into Pod can be pretty costly in terms of time.
Mm-hmm. So one question also remains is we technically don't need the flipper seat, right? Since we have Swamp Palace as a
true.
pendant.
Again, the one of the few tournaments that actually allows Specky Clip, and we probably won't even see it. We hope we won't see it this seed. That's because Swamp is a pendant. And who wants to, dive Swamp Palace,
And not only that, right? It's more about, for example, remember that Quake on Lake Hylia Island? So I don't know if both runners know how to water walk and get that Quake without the flipper.
That's actually a good point. You're right.
I know that I at least told Kermit at some point, but I've told him a couple of things and he forgot about them, so I would not be surprised if he doesn't know it. That would be one of the seats where you definitely want to know how to, get the water walk in Skull Woods and then get that Quake out of the ledge, the Hylia Island.
Rivas, have you considered doing a life lesson on water walking? I'm sure that if you actually do make one of those, Kermit will definitely remember.
You can see that. You can see that on YouTube, I think already. Like it is not hard as well. Like you just have to know what you're doing, and then you know, what you have to
knowing you just have to know what you're doing. I feel like that's a very tall order, depending on what that thing is.
But yeah, well, I mean, we will see. Maybe they show us. I expect Teto to be able to do it. I would expect Kermit also be able to do it. I don't know if they like, you know, sometimes in a race, you remember, oh, damn, if I can do X or Y, then I can get that. And maybe you try it, maybe you don't. Maybe you just feel like you're not feeling comfortable and say, okay, maybe the flippers are still coming somewhere. Ooh.
Oh no.
Which I'm
That's Mulder being a big bully. Yeah, you know, I mean, and it's gotten to the point where, you know, while like no major glitches are allowed here, there have been a slew of minor glitches where, you know, I understand, especially if you maybe like a newer runner, maybe just trying to, you know, get into this game, and maybe you'll try to be a bit more competitive. It can be a lot of little very minor things to try and keep track of and remember, right? I mean, obviously, certainly, you know, Kermit and Teto, very veterans. Teto, you know, alternating the order of hype cave chests. Saving, I guess, the best for last.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to, you know, hook the left chest so for a longer hook shot, and on the way back, he's gonna check that right chest regardless.
Interesting.
So, there is a chance of probably saving around, I don't know, 3 frames, maybe a little bit.
3 frames? Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, you know, 3 frames is 3 frames, right?
Something like that. If you correctly, you know, execute that. But as said, Teto's gonna go pod. He's gonna get his tempered now, and he's gonna knock out pod and Eastern. And I wonder if he's gonna do red bomb immediately after that. If he's saying, okay, I found so many good items. I might need only mids, and he's gonna get us mids here. You might only need a fire rod, and you know there's a flute somewhere out. Like this could be a real quick one.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, right. So we don't have any eyes on Dark Death Mountain yet, or I guess like the Maya area, so we don't have flute, so we don't actually know what our medallions are, but we already have one. We have Ether. We also know of another one that's on Lake Highlight Island, which is Quake. And as you said, we've already found that ice rod. That's super easy ice rod, you know, just sitting on Old Man that we could not avoid, it looks like, so far. So, yeah, you know, we potentially don't need very much more. Yeah, but this is going to be very efficient, you know, as you said, for Teto. Having gone to Zora with the bow, he's going to be able to clear out Eastern and Pod together with a combination with the mirror as well. You know, not only for us to do Eastern Pod outside together, but also inside for Pod. Going to be very efficient, pretty much regardless of the key layout.
Yeah. I mean, for Teto, it's looking great right now. I don't know. I think Kermit is like right now in his mind. Okay, like I had to go to Eastern. There's my glove. Whatever. He doesn't know about the second glove yet.
So yeah, that's
true. He might
true.
still feel good when he finds it on the mushroom, saying, "Oh, if my bow is behind the mids," you know. But it's not. It's just not. It's even worse.
It might be pretty on the way, you know, for at least for most people. But I guess we'll see. Yeah. So as you did mention though, so Kermit right now, it looks like he's going to turn his mushroom. Looks like pretty much immediately, or maybe he'll just go to Dark World. I don't know. Never mind.
Now, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so this all, by the way, I think this was also mentioned earlier in chat too, is because we do have the mirror. You know, the hype cave to pyramid to mushroom turn into catfish to Zora, like that also could be pretty efficient as well. Right. I mean, there are now like more things like
I can see him waiting exactly with that until he has the bow and finish Eastern. And
true.
that is
that's
like super awkward when your bow is pretty much on that path that you would go.
Yeah. We're just gonna hope for the best. I will say that the one thing, and again, it's still out of logic that Kermit has over Teto is that he did find that cape at Hobo, right? So logically speaking, we do need the flippers, right? Because Ice Palace is a crystal, and you're not expected to big flipper into anything.
Yeah, and
so,
that might be an
like,
out for him, right? Because like, as long as Teto's not gonna find the flippers, he pretty much has no reason to go to Hobo. I mean, for all we know, we will see the flippers somewhere outside of GT since we have crystallized.
Yeah, exactly.
But you just wouldn't go simply to Hobo for, well, whatever you're looking for then, I guess. But there might be like a, I don't know, bombos or flute just be behind the cape, and you know, the I don't know, flippers are in a super bad position. Teto instead of Hobo goes maybe Swamp Palace and stuff like that. Can all happen. But for now, yeah, Kermit happy to find the half magic here, and Teto going to the boss.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like it could be hype cave into mirror checks into Yeah, Stumpy and Dig Game. No miss, so this is probably going to be in this route. Right now, at least for the time being, outside of that ice rod, we don't really have much we can maybe like spam the magic usage on. Like no fire rod, probably the big one. But, I mean, we know it's going to show up somewhere. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like it sounds a little ridiculous, but I've seen people, and including myself, like when they, for example, go up to the attic room. If there's bombos, by the way, so we know where the medallions are.
Yeah, and also that's our potential ticket into Ice Palace too. How many times have you seen Fire Rod inside Ice Palace, and you just need that bombos medallion?
Yeah. What I was about to say is like people just sometimes use the cape with the half magic there because they don't need it in the dungeon, and you can just, when you're low HP, just walk or dash everywhere through. None of the freaky little green guys can hit you there as long as you're in the cape set, and it's really holding a long time if you have the cape and half magic. So, and there's burner as well. So I don't know, like you have some usage for the cape on Kermit's side, but yeah. Maybe he's gonna show us a little bit of a fake powder because he still has his mushroom.
Oh, you are absolutely correct. I totally forgot about the fact that fake powder is one of those techs that is, somewhat more of a, I would say, forbidden, and not necessarily forbidden, but it's very, well, I would not be surprised if anybody ends up doing it here.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Kermit, interestingly enough,
we are also here in Skull Woods, by the way. Yeah, Pendant Skull Woods without a fire rod.
By the way, Teto, nice hammer fight. Looking pretty solid so far.
Yeah, Teto has certainly hit some really nice items, as you said. We got the bow off of Zora. We've got the mushroom early turn in for the mitts. Or at least, sorry, that was his first glove, and then after he finishes the pod, he's gonna get his mitts out of Eastern Palace. So, very nice. And so he's also gonna be able to go into Village of Outcasts like the fast version, by lifting the big rock, as opposed to having to go all the way around, which is what Kermit had to go do.
Yeah.
Have we found anything, by the way, of value in Skull Woods?
No, we found one item, and we have like a 50-50 chance for the second item being on the boss.
All right.
But nothing in pod so far, and if Kermit is able to go mode pod, he has the pod big key in the front, so that could be a good amount of times, and that's the second item in Skull Woods. So map is just on the boss.
That's right. Yeah, that's and probably it looks like I guess like the good news is it's a very short dip into Skull Woods, right? Because we don't have to go to the back. Yeah. Oh wow. Well, Teto is just really hitting this route so far. We have the fire rod. I guess maybe, and he's gonna get his mitts in Eastern Palace. I don't know if he's interested in, I guess, immediately going up to Dark Death Mountain. We can get an eyes on Turtle Rock Medallion as well. And then we have the flippers. Wow.
I wonder if he's going after the mitts ice first.
That's actually a really good idea too.
It's super linear, and go modding Thiefstone in that
super linear. Ask Kermit that question. Kermit, did you think that the scene was linear?
No, I mean, Ice Palace itself would be very linear.
Yeah, that's true.
So for Teto, it would be go mode Thiefstone, and people might say go mode Thiefstone is like, okay, whatever, dude. But first of all, not only might the big key be in the first or two chests. You also skip the entire village, right? So that's an including massively big time save, basically. And that is also a part, if you can like go mode the entire village, if you want it like that, then suddenly a Thiefstone go mode doesn't look too bad, right? Of course, like we want to see that early because it's a super linear dungeon as well, super dense area. It's mostly having something at least. But for Teto right now, I think Ice makes more sense, knowing where Quake is. He can easily get it now with the flippers. Of course, he doesn't know about bombos, but if you have 2 out of 3 medallions, you might, if you get the flute, say, let me check the medallions, I'm probably in go mode.
Yeah, and for him to go pick, as you said, for him to go pick up Quake right now, honestly, like it's actually pretty probably worthwhile investment. It's not like that much longer to go through Hype Cave versus like Flutes. Well, we don't even have Flute Spot 8 right now, but it's not much faster to go into Dark World to go pick up the Quake medallion on Lake Highland and then to dive in straight in, because now you have the guaranteed, as you said, right? Another medallion can be actually quite big, so you don't have to waste a mountain trip.
Right now, I don't know where like the flute has to be, because we are looking for the flute right now, right? I don't know where the flute would be that we consider Kermit being in an advantageous position right now, because Teto has such a clear route to do with the mids and stuff already. Like he can do, as you said, everything quickly. And Kermit still needs the bow, and there's a risk that he might go pod without the bow as well, if that is the only bow we can access.
Yeah, right. And you do mention that it is progressive bows. There is another bow out there, but you know, that other bow could very well just be in like in GT, right? The one on Zora is very easily and early accessible. You know, it's unlocked by either the flippers or either glove, for that matter. And of course, we needed at least one glove to get Dark World access, right? So if the other bow is just buried in GT somewhere, or you know, some pendant swamp that we're never gonna touch, right? It can be a bit more painful for Kermit to go back there for.
Yeah, but even if it's pendant swamp, like I feel like Teto, the eastern area in its own saved Teto so much time. He's pod and eastern up, and like he has 1, 2, or technically 3 if you want to count Quake as well, items more than Kermit that he has to get. And we know that Kermit, for now at least, has to go to Zora. And when is that ever gonna happen?
Yeah. I mean, for what it's worth, the route that we've seen Kermit take, you know, hasn't necessarily been the most predictable. So, you know, if he decides to go back to Zora, I guess nothing right now he could do could really, you know, just you know, shock Pikachu me, you know, at this point.
Maybe Chad can help me out. I didn't see what exactly was on the right side in pod, or when Teto had to go to right side pod. Because like those flippers and the big chest in pod could easily be bow locked, and that means you could go Zora without the flippers, logically at least. And here we see Teto actually going for the red bomb, by the way.
Yeah. And so this is actually pretty good for. I mean, it's also efficient for him. He can go check the pyramid item as well as red bomb, because you know, pod and Eastern were very. I mean, they're 5-6 crystals, but they also were made logical pretty early by that, you know, by the bow and early Dark World access. And then if he wants to go up to Catfish, you know, he also might be, by the way, feeling pretty good about his route so far.
I think maybe if Teto finds the flute here, he knows he wins. Because like there wasn't pretty much a better route to take overall.
So do you ever feel good though? I curiosity when you hit like the
Teto here, if you're Teto here, let's say you find the flute either here on the pyramid or at Red Bomb, you walk or you run to the Lake Hylia Island, pick up Quake and go with everything and see if Bombo is needed.
Teto, I don't know if, okay, so unfortunately nothing for him, you know, in Pyramid Fair, but I don't know who ends up holding like the fastest records, but I do remember when Teto is very capable of hitting extremely good routes. I think he had a sub 50, I think, in Open Plus, casual ladder invitational at some point. He was playing Airy. That was were we on that commentary session, Revis? Like,
I think so. Yeah,
fast. I think so. Yes.
It was like it was over before it began, pretty much.
Yeah. You know, you plan out like an hour and a half, you know, so you can watch, you know, like, you know, nice friendly, you know, boots start race, and then suddenly you're like, oh, okay, I guess what else am I gonna do now for the next half hour of my life?
Yeah. And also, Teto picked up the Quake and is now going ice. So this route makes
this is very makes a lot
waiting
of
with the village area, you might not check anything, or even if you like find the flute and you see you need bombos, you know, you're gonna check everything until you check bombos. And if you found bombos, then you know you can leave immediately. But if you left like 2 or 3 items, then you know maybe you leave one of the items if you go too early. So I like the routing Teto takes here, because it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and the fact that we don't have a flute, I mean, we're obviously still looking for the flute. We do need it to get into Mire, but you know, that is actually one thing that probably more experienced runners, you know, are more conscious of, is the overworld routing, right? You know, he did, as you said, right? We went to Pyramid Ferry into Ice Palace, and you know, normally if you have the flute, you know, these things are much less trivial, but in this case, he didn't have to, you know, waste an extra save and quit or anything like that. He just basically ran straight in, right? And picked up Quick along the way, right? I think it was just very efficient for him.
The only thing that we have to definitely...
I guess maybe he could have done Hobo, I guess. Well, anyway, it's not...
I think he's gonna do that after Ice, not gonna lie. I think he's gonna go to Hobo, save and quit, and then do the King's Tomb check and go to the village.
Oh, and then just do all of the North Dark World stuff? Yeah.
Well, not all, but only like that's the thing. Like he will have Graveyard Ledge and Catfish left up there, and that is a potential option for Kermit. Now we know Graveyard Ledge is not the answer, but Catfish might be a good choice for Kermit at some point. But yeah, it looks like Teto is at least finishing ice, and I assume he's gonna check Hobo then. And with the cape, you know, maybe just maybe he's going up there. But yeah, we'll see. First of all,
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Oh yeah, looks like we. All right, so Kermit's gonna actually follow, the powder. Only $50. So right now, I think now he is. He's free to do whatever he wants with the mushroom. You think this is gonna be his mitts?
it could be.
This is not his mitts.
What is this?
Where is he? Where are we going? Are we going to pod?
Okay, he's not. Wait.
This is a pod tip, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, this is gonna be a little bit more unfortunate. So okay. So Kermit will get progression. Like he'll get a Byron, right, out of pod. He'll also get the flippers.
Wait, does this bottle have a?
He has his blue potion.
Okay.
Yeah, that was very early in I think in Escape Somewhere where we ended up getting that. So yeah, so he is at least gonna be able to sequence break out the bowlocks. He can't certainly beat the dungeon because we did see Teto already finish a pod and we did not get an extra bow there. But Kermit will be able to at least get some more progression out of it. You know, the downside, of course, as you know, what Kermit's doing in contrast to Teto is able to combine both Eastern pod into one single trip, right? Very efficient. And then Kermit not only came here to Eastern by itself without the bow, he's here in pod by itself, and then we're gonna have to come back a second time after we go with the bow.
And like going to Eastern and pod is a single trip, and not having the bow is like really awkward. And then he's probably gonna feel really bad if he's finding his mitts.
Yeah,
although there is a chance. So I can see a chance where Kermit might be just going to swamp with the flippers, regardless if it's bow locked or not. I don't know if he even cares about the logic. And maybe left side swamp is the answer, and maybe Teto, you know, it's gonna be.
You are correct. I believe.
Like,
I believe you.
Not make left side swamp. So.
In the race room, when he generated the seed, he actually specifically typed skip left side swamp. I believe that was also like his 80 keys, you know, a mantra as well. Always skip left side swamp. I think he was like 4 and 8 or something, maybe because of it. But I guess we'll see. Ooh, really nice sword beam usage here to break off Cold Stairs shell, saving himself basically some fire rod shots. I really much approve.
Yeah, nice, spinning to the top left, also a good thing. You always get a guaranteed triple hit with the first fire, and there's the flute!
Oh, there is the flute. Tato's hit such an amazing round. And, you know, I'm really wishing, actually, that you know, like, the GTP keys early. You know, just basically looking at... Okay, like, so wait, for him, like, the wild card is going to be Bombos, because it is a dig game, which is a, you know, overall location that may, you know, he may not end up getting to on the sooner side, but if we don't need that Bombos medallion... You know, I mean, we can just basically just knock out all these dungeons. As you said, we just basically go mode everything, right?
I mean, Bombos is the only thing that could stop Teto for and everything. But let's see on Kermit's side, though. There was one key here. What's the second chest?
I think it's a big key. Is it the big key here?
No.
Small key. No.
So if he knows, so the entire dark maze, the hallway, and the big key chest are all bow locked. So, if he understands that, then at least he knows he doesn't have to go to Swamp for a bow, but he might still go to Swamp Palace at some point.
I guess we'll see. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't really found, I guess, much in terms of progression. Like, he's gonna get, again, he's gonna get his Fire Rod, he's gonna get his Flippers, but as you said, if he's keeping track of the logic, he knows that the bow is out there somewhere, you know, that's not Eastern, that's not Pod, and somewhere most likely before then.
Yeah, and our tracker Nerfendolch, by the way, saying something interesting with a digging game being pretty much in the open. That is true. That is true. But also, I can see Teto going up the mountain, going to Mire. You know, you could still clear some stuff before doing the random digging game spot at some point.
No, that's exactly right. It's an overworld location that you know, like, it's actually kind of enticing to maybe go and try and combine it with Smith Chain. I don't know how Teto feels about Smith Chain, but it's kind of like you want to lump it together, try and be more efficient, and maybe he doesn't want to do that. I can certainly see him.
I don't think he's gonna do that now. Like, regardless, for sure. Like, look at Kermit's. Like, when is he ever going to Zora? When is he ever going to Zora?
Maybe soon. All right. Well, he's running out, which means that he's you know, this could be catfish into Zora play, right? He might come straight back to Pod for what it's worth. Immediately after Zora, you know, this could be a thing.
Okay, that is an option. The problem is though he's gonna turn in the mushroom, and I don't know if the mushroom as the myths will maybe tell him no. I'm continuously skipping Zora. Like I can see Kermit being
so
like
close.
that stubborn and saying nope. I'm gonna check catfish because I'm here, but Zora, no.
I think you're absolutely correct. Actually, that is actually very tempting because, you know, it's not like catfish and Zora are, I mean, while they are efficient together, it's not exactly like, you know, like once you have the myths, a lot more open up. He can go Darkness Mountain, for example, right? And he has both rods. He has 2 medallions. He knows where a third one is. He can go to Ice Palace, right? With the myths, you know, he has a lot more options than maybe trying to invest. And you know, the fact that he has already dipped Eastern and Pod separately and could not finish either of them. I don't know if he's willing to cut that. You know, maybe he's thinking, oh, maybe I need to cut a corner. You know, cut another corner in my many corners that I've already cut so far.
Well,
yeah, very.
Will feel really strange about it, but as soon as he sees the mirror on Zora, he knows. Oh God, I thought that cape might be good, and then oh yikes.
Yeah, this is what we're gonna we're gonna see. You know, 41 minute mids, maybe not necessarily the greatest feeling, but you know, like I would say the late mids is probably not the worst necessarily item to
at least so what makes me feel like he's gonna check Zora is actually that he has the flippers. I feel like if he didn't have the flippers he would continuously skip it,
okay.
Maybe he wants to see the ledge and says whatever, I'm gonna skip it. But I have seen him checking the ledge without taking Zora.
Dude, he has almost 1,400 rupees. He is so close. Like, would you really not go to Zora after you've even peeked at the ledge? Really?
I don't know.
I mean, you know your teammate, you know, better than me. You know, I certainly won't doubt you. It is quite. You know, okay, it's gonna be, you know, quite the discovery. You know, for Kermit. Talked about arrows. We found 10 arrows in the big chest of Thieves Town. Yeah, we're gonna see what Teto ends up doing here, because you know I can certainly see a very logical next piece is, you know, we finish up Thieves Town and we just go straight to the Mire area. You know, that's at least one dungeon we can already beat. That's
oh God, we're taking the portal again. Okay, we're not taking the portal again. Like you're making me. Oh no, we're on ice. Oh no, this is
when is the team meeting? When is the team meeting happening? Are you?
You have to realize.
Okay, I'm just wondering. So League technically hasn't started. You know, I know you guys have already registered and all. Is there anything you want to tell us?
Oh no!
Out of curiosity. It's fine.
So if I may say, so like. Personally, I like both runners, like good old friends over the years. It's not like I'm super biased. Of course, Kermit as a league member in my team is of course somewhat in a special position. But Teto, I've worked with him a lot. I've talked with him a lot. We met in IRL, so I have a lot of positive things towards Teto. And it's like I don't want either of these runners to lose. I wish for a good close race though, and right now it doesn't feel that way. Like Kermit definitely needs help from Bombos at least, if he ever wants to have a chance, and you know.
We have 2 shots
somewhere.
Yeah, no. I mean, as you said, we are everyone's a friend here. We're just giving, you know, each other, you know, as you said, like a close race will certainly be great, and you know, we still have hopium, big hopium. You know that Kermit will still visit Zora after Ice.
I don't know, but that is hopium or copium, really. Like this
mean, you know, either one. I don't mind. You know, they can be interchangeable. All right. Okay. So we do still have Turtle Rock medallion open for us. We haven't seen eyes on it yet. But we did see that, you know, is Ether to get into Mire. You know, for what it's worth, though,
I think that is not good for Kermit, because I think Kermit needed Bombos rather on Mire than on Turtle Rock, because. If Turtle Rock is not Bombos Lock, then Teto is not gonna check only the Dark Death Mountain stuff, but also a lot of stuff in Turtle Rock. And with a decent key layout, at least he can save not only one mountain trip in theory. But now it looks like both of them are going to the mountain at some point at least. And unless we find a second bow here in Mire, you know, if the second bow's here in Mire, then we're back in the game. But
yeah. Well, and also for what it's worth, though, like if it is Bombos for Turtle Rock, you know, like so. chances are Kermit probably won't be searching as much towards that month. And then, you know, Bombos being a dig game is, I mean, Teto has the whole world open to him, right? What does he decide to do, right? And, you know,
well, he's gonna for first check if Todorok is even Bombos locked.
Right. Yes. We don't know that information, correct?
If he sees Bombos locked, I can see him going into Swamp actually.
Yes, actually, that was actually another thing I was thinking. You know, so you can do, you know, more overworld. You can do the Smith chain. You can do alongside with like dig game and all that other stuff. You can also, you know, I was even thinking green pendant, no less. You're a Swamp Palace. Now that is, you know, 6 items in Swamp and an extra, you know, item on the green pendant. Although maybe, you know, maybe for Teto specifically, it's gonna still skip left side. Maybe, you know, it could be under 6. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, and on I remember on Sundays German Weekly Open. We had Go Mode Quake in Swamp as well, in the back of Swamp, and Teto pretty much went there immediately, winning the entire race. So I can simply see him going into Swamp. That would be an out for Kermit, but regardless, it has to be Bombos for Todorok if we want to have a somewhat close game at least.
Yeah, that's true. Because if it is Bombo, so Teto hasn't found the big key yet, and presumably this is where Kermit's gonna go soon as well. He's gonna go activate his flute that he found off of Ice Palace or Cold Stair, and then probably head over to the Mire area. But given that this is it looks like it's going to be a long, or like the big key is buried, it's probably just be a wash. You know, it's actually probably better for Kermit, right? And you know, because if the intention really is to just go mode Mire, the big key you'd rather have it be late than early for Kermit.
And it looks like it's vanilla. Kermit, interestingly enough, wait, did he check? Oh yeah, I think he did check. King's Tomb when
he did, yeah, he did all of the North Dark World stuff.
Makes sense.
And
I was thinking if there maybe is a chance for a bull, but no, never mind.
Did we find both items in Mire out of curiosity?
I know we found 20 rupees. I don't even remember if we found the second item.
Yeah, the only one that I also saw was also in the map chest, which was 20 rupees, and I don't remember the other one. If we did find another one. But, you know, as you just said, though, like, the big key is vanilla, and it very well could be that we have the second item, you know, on Vitreous. And as you said, if the second item's still here, and it's a bow, Kermit does not have to go to Zora.
I think Kermit is gonna go Swamp here.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, if...
Where would he go from here? It has to be Swamp.
He has... this is gonna be Swamp. This is not Swamp, because we're not going south. Where are we going?
Oh, Quake. He wants to pick up Quake.
Okay, gotcha. That makes... Oh, yeah, that's actually, that's exactly what Teto was doing. He was going to pick up Quake, and then he's going to go to the Ice Path. Yeah?
Jump
that's true. Can you swim a little farther, Kermit? You know, there's a great whirlpool for you.
Oh, no.
He's going to Mire. It's okay. You know, it's okay. We got another crystal, and we're gonna get another crystal out of this. He may end up searching desert. Pendant desert could have another bow for him, right? Oh, yeah. That would be actually very good. That Teto is not gonna go touch. So, could something? Heart container and 20 rupees. Thank you so much.
It's pretty much ice on Teto right now, because like whatever Kermit is doing, unless he's, as you said, well, he's gonna check Mire shed. Maybe Teto didn't do that. Teto immediately went.
Yeah, he just went straight over to Mire. Yeah, I mean, again, like Kermit has a lot of other. He has a good number of checks in the area. You know, we also do have a Gina for what it's worth that we haven't seen. Checkerboard cave.
Pick, yeah.
Yeah, I understand. They're not the best checks, but they're here, okay? You know, we take what we can get. And again, we don't know where the second bow is. If Kermit can find that, it can certainly save him a lot of grief, because he does have to go to Zora. Because right now, it looks like he is just hard avoiding that location. Well, any other obstacle in this path, that's going to be seemingly he's going to be very stubborn about that location.
Yeah, and I think if I'm not wrong, the second item should be in the big chest, but how do you ever check that if you're like, if the big key is vanilla and you don't get it immediately?
I mean, according to me and you, sorry, hopefully I said that right. It said that it was a heart container and 20 rupees. It looks like we actually found both items.
Then never mind me.
It's okay. All right, this is the big moment of truth. Me about like a minute-ish in bated anticipation. Teto is going to show us what Turtle Rock medallion is.
If this is not Bombos, this is gonna be easily
This is going to be a
sub-hour GT entrance.
Oh, sub-hour GT entrance.
Yeah, not finished, but at least entrance.
Yeah. Turtle Rock doesn't take necessarily that long, especially if you are gonna go mode. I mean, granted, it's maybe not as big of a difference if you don't go mode Turtle Rock, but you know, it is still a good amount of time. And then of course you're gonna go find the GT big key. I don't really foresee Teto having too much of a safety health issue. We still have that potion, I think, that he has from way early in the front of Escape. He has blue mail, he's got 12 hearts, we've got... I guess he doesn't have that half magic that Kermit picked up in K45, but he's got, you know, he's got Tempered Sword, he's got more than enough to go.
Yeah.
Alright, what is it? Moment of truth? It is Quake, which was required, that we had to go get off the island, so both efforts were not in vain. But yes, that Bombos medallion is not required this game.
Yeah, and that pretty much seals the deal. I mean, like we're talking about finishing Pod and Eastern. That alone is like what, 6 minutes if you count like fluting to 5 and then going to the Dark World, going to Pod, and then finishing all that, and then finishing Eastern, flying away. And yeah, Teto is simply going to go mod this one, and it's going to be in GT, I don't know, 50, 58 minutes, depending on the key layout, maybe. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, and right, and I would certainly expect that Teto would probably finish. Yeah, I guess we can see, you know, what happens in this case for Turtle Rock. He does not have to do Mimic Cave, which is actually a pretty significant amount. I don't know, maybe depending on the layout, if he, you know, is willing to skip outside, that can also save him a little bit of time. But I also don't know if he wants to. Some people are just kind of risk averse to that. I also don't know, you know, what.
I mean, you can see like Kermit is working on his 4th crystal while Teto is on his 7th crystal, and Teto played very well, you know. He played very well. He didn't have like a Molon for example, compared to Kermit, if we compare to the two runners. But it's not like Teto played like 4 crystals better. It's just that bow, you know, led into a completely different route.
He played one Zora check better than Kermit, and I mean, you know, and Rando, it's almost like a cliche at this point, right? It only takes one. It only takes one item for you to not check or to skip, and it can have ginormous snowballing consequences. I think it also would have not been as punishing in this case, because we still don't know where the other bows. Eventually, I think, you know, assuming Teto doesn't find it on his path before Ganon, we will get at least a hint as to where those silvers are. But, you know, if those silvers or that other bow has shown up relatively early, you know, even along some path that Kermit had happened upon, the Zora skip would not have been that punishing.
Yeah, I mean, one other thing that we have to point out here on Kermit's side is he really waited with the mushroom. That, you know, those mids checks could also
true.
Or, you know, you go hookshot cave and suddenly you find a bow, and then he's, you know, with a flute and go mode basically. So
yeah, no, that's also a very good point. You know, and again, I think the mushroom might be maybe a bit more variable depending on what, you know, again, people's philosophies for turning in the mushroom, you know, a little bit different, you know, depending on some people, as we kind of saw Teto do. He turned in immediately and got very well rewarded with early glove. Then we was able to basically get his mids outside of Eastern. Now the Kermit, you know, some people want to like to wait a little bit longer. Maybe you can see they could pick up a cane somewhere and big powder. Maybe, you know, you want to try and delay it for, you know, for another reason. But or you just have better things to do, you know.
Yeah. Although regarding the fake powder, I mean, you could just check the mushroom, and if it's nothing, then hard reset.
Yeah, that's also true.
Mushroom back.
Yeah, that's also true.
But yeah. Oh, nice Turtle Rock giving him the 2nd key, not even needing laser bridge. This is great. Yeah. This is not a 57, this is 56 or something.
Skipping on I mean, it's actually quite surprising, you know, because actually how much time even just skipping on laser bridge can save you. You know, it is very dense. A lot of these things that we see above the mountain, you know, Turtle Rock laser bridge, paradox, for example. Yeah, I think you mentioned this before in a previous commentary session, right, where the mountain can just eat up minutes of your time. It is dense, so you don't mind it because it's probably more efficient for your time. But if you don't have to do the mountain, holy cow, like that is a lot of time saved. But talking about though, Kermit is unfortunately bowless, which is understandable because we know what it is, but it does unfortunately does bleed him a little bit more time here on phase 2.
I mean, you could activate the cape and then go to a corner and hit the hit him all the time. Now he sees there's one more item here. He has the mirror out. I mean, that makes sense. He still has a lot of stuff open. But yeah, regardless where he's looking, it looks like he's gonna finish second in this one.
Yeah, and good news, by the way, for those of you who are fans of Kermit, or Rando, or Teto for that matter. This is a best of 3 series, and they certainly have at least one more game to go.
Yeah, but Teto, you're doing good work on Trinex. Already in phase 2.
Yeah. Looks, again, as you mentioned before, Teto, very accomplished runner, has been around for quite some time. Multiple invitational league, and that's, by the way, coming up. For Teto's participation.
Yeah.
So looking quite good. By the way, this whole bracket, by the way, this little quarter, I remember when I first saw it, I was like, this is the most like German concentration that I've seen, So initially, I think Kermit ended up seeded. I don't think he went 6-0 in groups, but he was faced off with Chrome.
He was like
Yeah. So he had a first round opponent, which was Chrome, which was also German. Teto's facing Kermit now, and in this best of 3, and then the winner of this goes to face Ascend, which I believe is also German. So it's like we actually have a lot of Germans here. Very very big fans.
Yeah, Kermit finding the small key here. Did he check the map chest already?
Wait, did he? Did he just literally run off? I have no idea.
Oh wait, he mirrored after Meyer, so he did map chest first, I guess.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's 50.
Yeah, alright, so that's one item.
Then. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Thanks for all the numbers. Yes. All right. Let's see. Okay. All right. We did get a unique item. It is not the bow, unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah. Okay. So Teto is going right side first. When I say right, I mean left side. My left and rights are very interchangeable.
He leaves the heart container on the right torch. That's what you meant, right?
That's true. That's exactly what I meant. Yes.
So number 2 is 20 rupees. Number 3 is 50 rupees.
A lot more money.
He's
getting his mirror out,
Guys, and number 5 is 10 arrows.
Yeah. I mean, and also, like, this is one of the advantages that people like to do is Stalfos in first is, you see also those Stalfos is very scattered about, right? And Druid, it's actually pretty difficult to hit them, especially with all the different fireballs kind of shooting you whenever you swing the mirror. So people just don't want to deal with it, right? And you have the mirror, you can just mirror right out.
Yeah. Obviously not doing tile room in this one. I mean, he's so quick on his way.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think he's probably looking at like I can probably finish this, sub 1. Well, sub 105. I don't know. That might be kind of close. But I guess we'll see. No. All right. It looks like he's just trying to be a little bit more conscious of his magic. I mean, this is also another reason why people don't like to do right side GT as often, just because it is pretty magic intensive.
So this was up to 9, I think.
Yes, torch plus Stalfos room is 4, and then plus compass room is 9.
Yeah. No second bow in Super Bunny. Maybe in Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't also see and we didn't see any of these checks coming from Teto.
Oh, it's 11. We forgot Hope Room.
Oh, Hope Room. You're right.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thanks, Vase. I'm glad that at least one person is good with math.
Yeah, the chat was like a good reminder. Sorry, guys.
Oh, I know 11 in German. It's one of the few numbers I know. It's elf. Because of like
because you like elf, right?
Yes.
Alright, Teto doing some nice boomerang and hookshot strats.
Forgot where we picked up the
GT is like a show of how skilled you are, basically. Like a lot of things can be done and differently done, and you have different equipments most of the time, and to show what you can do, and Teto's doing great.
Yeah, and again, also like absolutely every credit to NMG runners out there. They've done the basement a million times, especially left side, because the key in the vanilla game is behind ice armors. Some of these things though, when you come over to the randomizer, there are some randomizer quality of life improvements. For example, quick swap was one of them. To being able to save more time with being able to quick swap to the boomerang, quick swapping to the hook shot. Tech is a little bit different, and we actually, I don't even know if the practice attack actually has a name for rando room, like in GT, because you literally just don't never go there, for.
I like the name
entity.
random room. It is the perfect description. Only random players go there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're still searching. We're getting pretty close to that 22 that our tracker Nervendeutsch has decided to put in chat. We were really hoping, for a very fast seed, and yet here we are searching like the entirety of the basement for that big key.
And there you can see Bob, the anti-fairy, didn't get killed this time since we didn't get the item on the torch.
Yeah, no 20 hearts this time, at least for Teto. Maybe Kermit. Yeah, the good news for Kermit is that he is going to have at least one bow coming into Ice Armos. We just don't know how many.
I don't know if he's going to see Ice Armos.
That's also probably true. Do you know if he has like the race room open at any points, or he watches it?
I don't know, but I assume he's going to check at some point. Oh, there it is. It was the number 8. 18? 19, I think, right?
19,
it's 19, 20, 21.
Yeah, it is. Yes, you are correct. Yes.
So number 19.
So pretty dang close to that tile room, honestly. Yeah, I really like to see some of the boomerang usage here. So for rando specific things, honestly, like I'm a little bit more partial to the red boomerang. I don't want to get into like the boomerang wars between which one's the better one and which one's the worst one. For rando though, like you just see the red boomerang less often in like the normal games.
Yeah, I was looking in chat and I see 117.
Ooh, that's actually
that is Q Silver 8585.
Nice.
Yeah, GG's on winning the GT Big Key guessing game with a guess of 17 when we had 19, because the next ones would be actually 22 and then 15. So nobody pinpoint correctly guessed, but yeah.
He was definitely closest without going over. Price is Right rules. You can never go wrong with that. All right. Well, you know what? Maybe Mimic Cave will have a bow for Kermit. We still have a lot of. Where is this bow?
I mean, I assume it is somewhere in GT. Maybe Teto's going to show us upstairs.
Yeah, it could be. He was checking for silvers, at least around the big key. I mean, those two are pretty free.
Or it's simply Swamp Palace.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. I guess the question is, like, we're gonna find out on Kermit's side, or we're gonna find out on Teto's side. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. You know what? We absolutely can use Price is Right rules in honor of Bob Barker.
Oh, Teto out of magic. Has to work with the sword. Not that it's a big deal, but
Teto, I heard you got a
little bit annoying. Getting the
I'm just saying, Kermit would have probably liked that bow. I maybe like 50 minutes ago. That would have been real swell, on his side. So maybe you could use the bow for the two of you. Just say could be teamwork.
But you know what would have been crazy? Imagine if the bow and the cape would have been switched right in this one. I mean, it doesn't make any logical sense, but just in case.
It very well could be. Yeah. No, that's definitely true.
Like that was the one decision where Kermit was like, "Nope, I'm gonna go a different way."
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
Yeah.
Because Kermit went to Hobo, and normally, that's actually a pretty common, I guess, like choice, right? That people, make, and it's either gonna be Hobo or it's gonna be Zora, because they're both pretty, in the different corners of the world in terms of water checks. Yeah. And once you kind of go there, it's not really, especially without the flute, it's not a really good way to.
To be fair, in Kermit's position, he didn't have the glove from the mushroom yet, so for him, Zora wasn't also in logic. So I wonder if he would have decided differently, knowing him probably not, if he had the gloves. But there is a chance, like you just do it differently when you have the gloves there, thinking, I'm still looking for Moon Pearl at that point. There could be something good. Just check it, whatever. And but he didn't, and that is pretty much what made him dip Eastern without the bow, finding a different set of gloves, which Teto never needed in the end. Like, he had 2 mountain trips. One, to get his Moon Pearl and, do stuff like Hera in the East Death Mountain. And the second time was in Go mode.
Yeah, so, that's true.
Kermit did it all for East Death Mountain, which Teto never did, and would have technically to go a third time up the mountain.
Yeah, we also see, by the way, that the bow is not on Laser Bridge. So again, it's a hint. Text for the bow won't be into the rock. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right though. I mean, like the way that it's not quite in this case like I would say like spoiler log version of routing. Yeah, in terms of like you know where everything is and it's you make it as efficient as you can. But Tato's route has just really taken him. Again, every single thing has either been like a combined or just a single trip, or you just take the bare minimum number of trips. As you mentioned, for example, like going up the mountain is at one mountain trip at least is entry is what, 1 minute, 1 minute plus 90 seconds. He only did exactly the requisite 2 times he needed to go up there.
And
right?
it's not only that, I mean, he probably thinks, okay, I did Pyramid Ferry, but he got Quake out of that, So he didn't dip Skull Woods, he didn't do any.
Oh yeah, Teto did the right thing.
Yeah, and with that happening, pretty much, I think this is one of the seeds where he definitely doesn't feel he's behind. Like, no shot that Teto feels he's behind. Like, Teto knows he played well. Kermit would have to pretty much take the exact same route as him. Like this, we're talking almost about a god route, pretty much, minus the red bomb. If you wanna I mean, you will not take the moon turtle from Spectacle Rock Cave and not check East F Mountain stuff. Like we have to be realistic, but there's a chance that you just go, you just go ice instead of the red bomb, and then when you fly to Mire or Turtle Rock upstairs, then you see, okay, I need Quake, something like that. Then, reducing go mode. So it's like almost the perfect route from a non-spoiler lock position.
Yeah. No, I mean, Teto, as you said, he's played this quite well. And, pointing out all the things that he, quote unquote, did not have to go do, right? But it was very reasonable that he, did. I was just outside of Pyramid Fair.
Yeah.
There's swamp. Of course there's swamp, of course.
And guess where
else would it be?
This has to be
okay, so is Kermit gonna find the bow, his bow, before Teto finishes? I mean, we might be able to get to the map chest, maybe.
I don't know, but I think that confirms for us that he either didn't care about watching the pod key logic, because if he would, or maybe he doesn't understand or knows, I don't know, or maybe he doesn't remember.
Okay.
But if
he meeting coming up.
Well, it is to him. I can tell him that multiple times if he doesn't want to save that information. It's up to him. But in general, like, you would know, okay, this is a bad play because knife flippers were 100% bow locked, so the chance of having a bow there is super slim because, as you said before, it could just be GT. But anyway, Teto is going to finally finish this seed just about 1 hour and 7 minutes. Give a GG's in the chat, guys, and yeah. Game 2 is, I think,
big GG's. Yeah, no, big GG's to Teto. Again, as you said, Teto's performance, it is a bit more, unfortunate, from Kermit's perspective, right? That he missed out on the one check that he kind of needed in order to kind of really make a lot of progress in the seed, which is the bow on Zora. But even if Kermit, was playing, at his absolute best, right? I mean, like, Teto's route and execution, it is, as you said, it's just very, very hard to beat. He found pretty much close to like amazing routes. Pretty almost close to optimal if you didn't, if you're just playing the seed blind. He also executed very well, right? It's just extreme, Teto just did a very, very great job, on the seed.
So yeah, assuming that Teto's gonna join for an interview soon. And it looks like either Kermit wants to check where his bow is, or he hasn't opened the race room. I don't know yet, but I expect him to forfeit when he sees that Teto's done, because he has, he probably saw it now. Because
looks like it. I do see a forfeit in the race room, so yeah, hopefully we can, get these guys in for a chat. I hope he's not too sad about knowing where the bow was on Zora. Yeah, well, it was certainly very, again, I mean, I think it was really a pleasure to watch, both Teto and Kermit.
Obviously, that it wasn't as exciting as we hoped it to be.
It wasn't as close, but it was certainly still very exciting. I mean, I don't think I can ever be bored, honestly, watching Kermit's routing, because you are always on your toes, because you never know what he's gonna do. Speaking of, we are joined by Teto and Kermit. GG's, guys.
Hey.
GG's.
Did you guys have fun? I'm sorry about the bow, Kermit.
It's like, I had fun, but I just talked with Kermit for a few seconds, so like, this is a mood question.
I mean, the seed was okay, I guess, but yeah, Zora happens. I would have almost checked it, but I kind of wanted to skip something. So yeah, unfortunate.
Did you know that your flippers were bow locked?
Yeah, that's why I went away from Swamp.
Oh, okay.
in
Oh, yeah,
last
you went
second.
out.
Yeah, I realized too late. I mean, didn't matter anyway. So
True.
For
Yeah.
what it's worth, the other boat actually was in Swamp. We don't know where, because that's what the Ganon hint told us. But I'm really sorry. It was really not the logical one. But that's what. I'm sorry. Well, you know, there's game 2. For what it's worth, you know, maybe you'll have better luck then.
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, I was thinking like this could be such a close race if you follow the crystals. And yeah, I did the water walk, or got rewarded with the bow. You could play this later, but you want to play Catfish maybe after Port and Eastern, and with the bow it's so convenient to play this. So it felt like you did everything right in the seed. Yeah, maybe grab those Quake medallion on the way to Ice Palace before getting the flute for Go mode. And it was like, yeah, just play the Red Bomb. Or you could have saved this if you don't need Quake, and then you need Quake for Turtle Walk. So it felt like you did everything right.
So, yeah, I mean, Teto, what do you think about the like when you found your bow on the Zora? Did you think about Kermit maybe not checking this one?
The problem is it's casual, and in most cases you are going for the water walk, even if it costs time. Many people will do this, so it felt like maybe played this, but you could easily skip it. But
it wasn't
not really.
It wasn't like Kermit didn't water walk. He water walked to the waterfall ferry, but he walked out and then did a hobo. And later, when he came back to Catfish after Pot, he only did do Catfish, probably because he just found the mitts on the mushroom. And then we skip Zora again.
Yeah.
And then you're never coming back.
That happens. Titans was already bad, honestly. Because normally I check the mushroom immediately, but this time I didn't do that as well.
This is what I did. I even after the shovel, I just turned in the mushroom and was like, oh, you can play the mountain, but just you got the Zora money or nearly the Zora money, and just go for this first. If you get maybe the mid somewhere there in the moon pearl on the mountain, you can even just check even more. So I just played this pretty safe in the first minutes, but got rewarded on every end.
What a surprise! Teto got lucky.
I
So
will
do
see.
you guys have your second match?
I just told the bot, skip left side swamp, and he did.
Yeah. Entire swamp skip, pretty much.
The left side swamp.
So, did you guys have your second match scheduled already?
Probably
no.
on Friday, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit. I think tomorrow we'll get a better date for the weekend on Friday.
Well,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we're looking forward to that second game, and maybe there's gonna be a region as well. I don't know yet. But thank you guys for running. Do you have any final thoughts before we wrap these really quick things actually up here?
Finally a fast seat.
Yay.
Sorry.
I mean, the beginning felt already bad. Like, when I play casual boots, I normally have very, very slow seats. So this is like out of the box already. But yeah.
I was like, the flute could be anywhere right now, and the swamp was always in my mind for maybe dip this, and the village of outcasts. Even if you get the bow and you maybe decide for I'm going Thieves Town and then into Port Eastern area and there's the flute, you will hit go mode with the mids immediately. Maybe it's like whatever I'm going to play right now. If I get the flute early-ish, this is pretty great, and if not, then anything is possible. But yeah, after getting the flute like on the first dungeon check, it was like, yeah, this will be a tough race or a close race or even maybe decided by one of those off items like the bow.
I'll skip it again next time.
I even went for the 50-50 in E-Star. It's still the item on the boss, so yeah. It worked out in every end here. Still do like you, Kermit.
We'll see. We'll see. You know, put your action. You know where. You know what happens in game 2. We'll see what how you actually really feel versus what you're just saying now, Teto. All good.
Yeah. if Kermit is going to win, then oh god, no, never mind. I'm going to take this back right now here in case of no. It's like I got pretty high seeded in the tournament at this stage, and then you are looking for I'm playing against the winner of Quam versus Kermit, and it's like Kermit is always tough opponent. It's not like the first one will be pretty easy-ish. It's like, can I please change my opponents? Maybe the tournament tree at this point. I don't want to play against Kermit.
Yeah, very, very. You have like there was a very strong concentration of German runners, like right here in this little pocket. Somehow it all worked out that way. I don't know, for better or for worse. All right. Any other thoughts though? We can probably wrap things up, a bit.
Yeah, it's pretty late, right? Yeah, for those 70-minute stream. Let's wrap it up. Thanks for commentating, Ravis Clearmouse. I think Ravis just PM'd me yesterday evening, like, hey, we are going to restream this with Clearmouse tomorrow, and thanks a lot, you two, for this, and of course our tracker at this point, Nervendolch.
Yeah, I felt very honorary German today. Thank you.
Thanks for doing this, and sorry for not giving you a more interesting race, I guess, but it happens. Maybe next time I'll win by 20 minutes. Hopefully.
This is like the reverse Uno card right now. So it's okay, it's okay. I hope so for game 3. I always hope for those close seasons to go to the full length, so I'm looking forward for this.
Yeah, big same. Very much. I mean, and for what it's worth, Kermit, I said this maybe a little bit before you joined. It is never boring watching you route. You are very unpredictable for many reasons.
Yeah,
it's quite entertaining. So
I wasn't really happy with my routing today. I made many bad decisions, but yeah, I don't know. It was a bad race overall, so nothing you can do.
It just takes one item. That's it. So you know, and yes, and I think Ravis also said this earlier. So like Kermit, actually, one major difference was at least early, right? Like you went to hobo and you got a cape out of it, which I mean, and again, right? Like if the hobo had been something, I don't know when Teto would have gone back there. So
maybe after ice, but at this point, I was so destined to go to Turtle Rock for the food.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe, So who knows? It's always those one checks. You do those. You skipping those. It's just unlucky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
as always.
Best of luck in game 2 and whenever that gets scheduled. If it's guys through Friday, that's also great. So thank you guys so much. It was a lot of fun on this one. Thank you so much, Nervendolch, for tracking. Always on top of everything for us. Ravis, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you to you too, Clemens, and thanks also to chat. There's a couple of races on the schedule. If you want to commentate one of these two or track, feel free to sign up. And yeah, maybe you're going to have some fun as we do today. So thanks, guys, for everyone, and see you next time.
Yep, see ya.
Bye-bye.